So I thought it'd be really helpful to show people how I start off the long reining and lunging with the two reins. So sort of like a starter guide. Obviously we're doing this at a time with the coronavirus. So I would quite often have someone standing at the head with the horse and just making sure they're not going to walk off. But I haven't got that luxury at the moment. So, and this is an experienced horse, so he's not a young horse. Definitely have someone holding them if they're a young horse to make sure that they're going to be okay, and you don't want them to learn sort of habits of running off. But this guy knows, he's older. He's done it lots of times before, so he's quite happy to stand there. So I thought he'd be a good one to demonstrate on. And you can see, okay, so I've put the lunge rein through I actually put it from the outside to the inside, clip it onto the roller, and then go through the clips there at the bottom, which are basically they're old lunge lined clips that are old, or they're kind of old head collar lead ropes clips that then I'm able to fasten to or clip onto a short girth, which then goes onto like a normal roller that I've got. You've seen I put the lunge lines on the floor, and obviously he's very settled, he's fine. I can pick them up and walk off, and to me that's probably the safest way to be able to do it. So rather than have to throw it off the horse's back, sometimes if the horse is very quiet, I would put the lunge lines over the top of the numner and then just be able to sort of bring the lunge lines back together. But just be a little bit careful with that, because sometimes even that process can make a horse run off. So you see, the first thing I do is just check this is what I'd recommend for someone. If you've got a space such as this, or even, a lunging is great, but somewhere that's safe, that the horse isn't able to run off. Possibly even have a scoop of feed if you need to, just in case you are going to lose it, if it's a horse that might run off or whatever. And make sure, if you can, there's someone there to be able to help you if you do drop the horse, of course. But or if happens to run away. But I make sure that to start with I can stop. Okay, so the first thing you would see me is sort of do my halt transitions. Once I'm then walking around and I've got the hang of the fact, yeah, okay, I can stop this horse, I know what control it is, and they get used to the idea of the feeling on the mouth, then you'll see me start to run. Once I start to run, again, I can practice a couple of trot walk transitions. And again, it's the process of, can I go, can I stop, can I turn? And then I start to be able to work out, well, actually, if I stand still then and the horse is already going forwards, if I keep a little bit more pressure on the inside rein, start to use the outside one as my engine, as it were, can I start to turn them? And then you'll see, practice again, I've got to change the rein. And you'll see I physically run with them to make sure that it's a really smooth turning process to start with. Again, I stop, make sure my body's in position, sort of more like a triangle with the horse. So I'm kind of in the middle of the horse's girth area. And then obviously I've got my outside hand to the left of where the tail is. And again, my inside by pointing towards the nose a bit. Again, when I want to go and change rein, I'll run a little bit. So the horse starts to learn this process. If you've got one that's very flighty, you'd be very careful if you run at it. So to start with, just be really careful how your body and your movements, and especially if you move quickly, how that impacts on the horse's way of going, or sort of demeanour, behaviour. You don't want them to run away from you. Okay, so once I've got that, I've managed to steer, I've managed to stop, get the general process of moving around. I'll then repeat and stop and see if I can, stop the horse. Quite often they want to walk on. I'll just check, make sure he's standing, make sure he's relaxed. I wait for a minute. Yeah, can I let go? Is he not going to walk on? Fine. I personally drop the outside lunge line, bring the inside one, or I'm saying inside. I personally drop the right one, then use the left one to be able to keep on the contact just in case he walks off. Release the right one straight away, and then do the left one. But also in the process, I've actually made the left one a little bit longer, so there's no pressure on the mouth at all, to make sure that they're never going to feel any pressure and suddenly then react against that. And same process, then just unclip and then ready to lead away.